Do you enjoy watching documentary films? But you know documentary films are very difficult to make, especially in terms of raising the necessary money. On today's program, we're delighted to have the opportunity to have a conversation with Mr. Jean-Robert Thomann, who is a documentary film director from France originally, but has been in Taiwan for many years and has been doing documentaries in Taiwan and about Taiwan for the past 15 years. Welcome to our program, Jean-Robert.
Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here today. And so I'm a French filmmaker who is living in Taiwan for 6 years.
Okay, good. And Jean-Robert, let me ask you this. Can you start off today's program by telling us a little bit about yourself? We know you originally, from France, and then you've been in Taiwan ever since 1996, I believe, some 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. But thereafter, you've been coming and back and forth for many, many years. And you've done a lot of documentaries about Taiwan. So tell us a little more about yourself, please.
Until now, I've done 19 documentaries. 19? Yes, but most of them are about Taiwan.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, the first time I came to Taiwan, it was in 1996.
Yes.
In Paris, I met some Taiwanese friends.
Good.
And in 1996, the first time I came is to visit friends.
Good.
Yes, but I was born in Morocco. Yes.
Morocco, really?
Yes, I was born in Morocco, and I grew up in France. But my grandmother, grandfather, they are Spanish and Italian.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm quite a European guy, international.
Of course,
and
yes.
so when I came to Taiwan the first time, it was the first time I traveled far away.
Yes.
But it was very interesting for me to discover another culture.
And let me ask you this. Why did you get involved with documentary filmmaking? Is that something of an interest or something that you studied when you were in school?
Okay. When I was young,
yes,
I was very interested in cultural stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Movies and music.
Yes.
And novels.
Oh, okay.
And I had this dream to work in the cultural industry.
Okay.
At the beginning, I wanted to be a sound engineer.
Oh, okay.
But because of some experience, I turned and I got to study the broadcasting techniques.
Okay.
Broadcasting techniques. After graduated, I began to work as an editor, film editing.
Good.
I liked it because when you are making editing, you are working with the director, and you are so close because you are one to one.
Yes.
Yes, you have to see the stuff, you have to work with him and to understand what he wants to do. So it's a very good school to study the filmmaking, doing editing. And why I decided to make documentaries? First one, because I like it.
Yes, okay.
But the second one is because I discovered Taiwan. I discovered Taiwan in 1996. I was living in France, and in France, there are not a lot of information about Taiwan. And my friends, they don't understand what Taiwan is.
Yes.
But I have the chance to come to Taiwan, and so I have this thought. Yes. If I make some documentaries, go to Taiwan to shoot some documentaries and to transmit what I learn to the French audience.
Okay. Well, that is a very important mission that you're doing. Yes. Hey, Jean-Robert, let me ask you this. You have done 19 documentary projects, and most of them are about Taiwan, right?
Yes.
And then what are some of the topics or aspects of the Taiwanese society that you have covered in your documentaries? For example, religion, lifestyle, or family. What aspects?
Okay, maybe I have to talk about the first time I came to Taiwan.
Please, 96.
Yes, because the first time I came to Taiwan, I was disturbed because I can't say I really like it the first time, but I don't understand. Okay. In my mind, I have some image, Eastern, China, I don't know, this kind of stuff. But I arrived in Taipei and big buildings and scooters and It's quite disturbed, and I didn't really understand what is the country. But there was two things that really moved me.
Okay.
The first one was in Taoyuan.
All right.
Taoyuan, in Guanyin, in front of a temple, there was a performance, local opera performance.
Okay. All right.
And it was raining a lot. But nobody was there. No people were watching the show, the performance. No. And I was with a Taiwanese friend.
Okay.
And I asked him, why? Why are they continue to play, to perform, and nobody is there? And he said to me, they are not playing for us, they are playing for the God. And it's a new thing for me. I never heard this kind. And he said, wow, what is it?
Okay.
And the second one, it was tea. The tea. Taiwanese tea, because the first time I came to Taiwan, it was the first time for me to see an entire tea leaf.
Oh, really?
Yes, because before in France, tea bag, yes, I think it's not really good to drink.
No.
But in Taiwan, it's not the same taste. And I saw the tea leaf, and I thought, so wonderful.
Yes.
So I go back to France. Going back to France, I bought a lot of books about Taiwan.
Okay.
And I began to study Chinese. And in Paris, I had some Taiwanese friends, and we talk, we speak. And so I study a lot in Paris about Taiwan through books and friends.
Okay.
And so the first time I made a documentary, it was in 2000 years.
Okay.
The Taiwanese opera singer, Liao Chongzhi, very great, she's a diva.
Yes.
And she went to France. She went to France. Yes, she went to France to perform.
Okay.
And this was my first documentary. It was about Taiwanese opera. Okay. Yes, it was about Taiwanese opera. And after that, I made more than 15 documentaries about Taiwan. Most of them are about Taiwan culture.
Yes.
Yes. For example, Taiwan's puppet theater.
Yes.
Or Taiwan, the Taiwanese calligraphy master.
Okay.
Or this kind of
many different aspects.
Yes, many different.
Okay.
I have made some about some politics topics or ethnic topics.
Okay.
Because it was one thing very interested me in Taiwan. It was Taiwan history and Taiwan ethnics.
Yes, ethnic groups. Yes.
Yes, ethnic groups. Because I thought if I really want to understand the country, I have to understand the history. And
exactly.
When you begin to understand Taiwanese history, you begin to understand the ethnics. All around the history.
Okay.
And you understand the ethnics. What is very interesting is that in the past, there was conflict between ethnic groups.
Yes.
But Taiwan is a really good example of harmony, I think. Of course, this is not paradise. Of course, this is not paradise. But the conflict have been solved in such pacific way.
Yes.
No big civil war or no big conflict. And I think it's so interesting in the world because there are not a lot of places like this.
No. Okay. And Jean-Robert, when you first came to Taiwan and you kept coming back, what was some of the adjustments that you have to make? Other than language, of course, at the time you were still learning Mandarin Chinese. How about the food? How about the lifestyle? Because, the living accommodation in Taiwan could be, sizable, smaller than what you used to maybe in France, especially in the countryside. So were there any other, for example, religion? Some of the adjustments that you had to make? Share some of them with us.
French people, when they go abroad, they like to test the local things.
Yes, assimilate. Good.
Yes, they like to test. And as a French, when I came to Taiwan, of course I want to test Taiwanese food. Local food. Local food, yes.
Was it okay with you?
Yes, of course, but of course in the beginning there was some foods I was not very familiar.
Tofu?
Yes, aromatic tofu. Of course.
So pig blood?
No, this was not a big problem.
It wasn't? Okay, good.
Yes, we eat pig blood too.
Okay,
yes. No, this is... I can say in the beginning I had good feeling about Taiwan.
Taiwan, good.
Yes.
Okay.
Approaching Taiwanese local things.
Okay.
I feel good.
Yeah, very much feel at home. And how do you like the Taiwanese people?
Oh, Taiwanese people are very kindly, of course.
Yes.
They're very friendly and kindly.
All right.
And yes, in the past when I was doing some research in Taiwan countryside, I often met some Taiwanese people. They helped me.
Yes.
For example,
you're willing to help.
For example, a very concrete example. For example, in 3 years ago, I was in Hubei.
Okay, Hubei.
And I was shooting a documentary about the Ghost Festival. And I was alone walking around the street to go to shoot. And I spent 1 month in Hubei to shoot the documentary. And the local people, they saw me every day, going on and going back. And
it's terrific.
Yes, and one day I saw a Taiwanese person.
Yes.
And he offered me tea. He said to me, "Oh, you're working very hard."
Okay, yes.
So please have a drink.
Yes.
Please have a drink.
Yes.
And of course, this is not every day. This kind of
happens.
Happens, but often I met some Taiwanese people who are very friendly.
Yes, indeed, Taiwanese hospitality.
Yes,
a lot of people have been, documenting about that. Jean-Robert, we know that you've been doing a lot of documentaries, 19 altogether, and most of them on Taiwan. But you've always had this dream of one day making a feature film to be shown in theaters. And your dream is coming true, because starting October 7th, you're going to have a feature-length film called The Short Story at the West Gate to be shown in theaters around Taiwan. Tell us a little bit about your switch from documentary into feature-length films, and what was the story behind your short story at the West Gate?
4 years ago, I began to write fiction film scripts.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Because I had this dream.
Okay.
Maybe switch from TV documentary to movie.
Okay.
Cinema movie.
Very good.
Yes. And documentaries is a thing that I like. But this is, you take picture from true life.
Yes.
Real life. But I think telling stories from imagination is things that in which I am very interested too.
Yes, it's a lot more challenging.
Yes,
sometimes.
more challenging. It's not the same work.
No.
And so 4 years ago, I began to write some scripts. And last year, I faced some professional and economic problem.
Okay.
Yes, I faced it. Because of some documentary projects were cancelled or blocked.
Okay.
And so last year in June, yes, I have this feeling. Maybe I have to find another job.
Oh, okay.
Yes, maybe working as a filmmaker is no longer for me.
Yeah,
I have to switch.
Able to support yourself.
Yes, I have to think about it. But I thought about it, and I think I don't want to give up so quick.
Yes. Okay.
I want to make something. And because I want to switch to fiction movie, so I have to shoot a feature film, fiction movie, to try.
Okay.
And so the idea came. It was in June, and in the summer vacation. In the summer, I didn't have any project to do.
Okay.
And so now if I want to shoot in July, it's so quick, 1 month.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do? And so I have an idea.
Right.
Okay? I will use my own character, my own life, to write a story.
Good.
And because I have no time to find some subsidies or funding. And so I will play my own character. I am not an actor, but I decided, okay, I will play the main character.
All right.
And
that
after that,
save you some money.
Yes, save some money.
Yeah.
And after that, I wrote the script and I shared with some Taiwanese friends. and one French friend. And they say they have this feeling, oh, we like it. Okay. And so they come and help me. And so we decided in July we began to shoot.
Okay.
Very, very quickly.
All
very
right.
quickly.
Okay.
So what is the story? The story is about a French film director who is living in Taiwan. Good. And who is facing some difficulties.
Okay.
And as a film director, he likes to sometimes to walk and maybe by night with friends to go to have a drink and talk. Yes. And he faces some problem with his wife because his wife, yes, she has no good feeling. Your work is not good, you don't earn money, and you come back very late and you spend money in drinking pub, alcohol or this kind of stuff. And so there are some problems with his wife. And the story is how to face the real life problems and how to continue to think about creation and create.
Yes.
And so one night the character go home.
Yes.
And his wife takes the close the door.
Yes, lock the door.
Lock the door.
Okay.
Yes, and he can't go home. So he have to spend one night in Simanding.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and in one night he will meet some people, and it will happen some stories.
Yes, of course. Yes. So that's the overall story behind the short story at the West Gate.
Yes.
All right, but we understand this is not a film that you could raise a lot of money for.
No, of course.
So you have to go through the so-called crowdfunding.
Yes.
And how did you do it? And tell us about some of the difficulties that you experienced in raising funds through crowdfunding.
Okay, when we start to shoot,
yes,
we didn't make the crowdfunding project.
No.
No, we start to shoot with very low budget, my money and my wife's money, and the help of friends.
Oh, okay.
As shooting crew or as acting crew.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But when the shooting was finished, after the shooting was finished, I started to edit the movie. And the editing process, I can make it at home.
Yes.
But when you want to complete the movie, you have to go in professional studio to make the color grading or to make the sound mixing.
Yes.
And it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And so I decided to make the crowdfunding to help me to complete the movie.
Okay.
Yes. So we made the crowdfunding this year in March.
Okay.
Yes. So 6 months after the 5 or 6 months after the
you started shooting.
Yes, after starting shooting.
Yes.
And this is not me who made it because it's too difficult for me. You have to write all in Chinese.
Okay.
Because this is a Chinese crowdfunding platform.
Of course.
Yes, Taiwanese. Taiwanese crowdfunding platform. And so, yes, an assistant helped me to write the crowdfunding project. At the beginning, it was not so easy because the crowdfunding platforms are very exigent.
Yes, of course.
Exigent, yes. And they ask us to rewrite and rewrite. And one day they say, okay, next week,
all right,
the crowdfunding is open.
Okay, it's going to be on the platform.
Yes. And it was a very interesting experience because, of course, on the side, I get the money, so it helped me to complete the movie. But on another side, it was a very good way to promote the movie.
Yes.
Yes.
So a lot of people know about it even before you started, showing it in theaters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It was a very good way. Yes.
All right. And let me ask you, what is the expectations that you have about this first feature film?
Okay.
All right. Do you expect, the crowd is going to love it? And then, people will actually pay money to see it, and maybe the returns can at least break even, for all of the, people who invested in the project in the first place. What is your expectation?
it's quite a surprise for me.
Okay.
The movie will be shown
in the theaters.
In the theater, yes.
Okay.
When I shooted it, I never expected it.
Okay.
The first thought was to push something.
Okay.
To open some doors.
All right.
Yes, this was the first feeling. The first thought was that. But now it will be screened. It will be shown in theater, and of course I expect. I am very stressed.
Yeah. Yes. I can imagine there's a lot of pressure on you. Yes.
I'm very stressed, especially because I'm in the movie.
Yeah.
The main character acting.
Yeah, exactly.
And I present part of my life, and
yes.
and so it's very stressing. But I hope the audience will love it.
Yes.
Of course, I hope it. If I dream, of course, if I can make some money with it, maybe
yes.
I can invest it in another movie next year. Yes,
yeah.
of course.
Okay.
I'd like to make another movie, and
right.
if I have some money to invest in it, it will be easier.
Okay.
Yes.
But let me ask you, if you do well on this, short story at the West Gate, are you going to continue to make, more feature films, or are you likely to go back to, use the money that you have to go back into making some documentaries?
Okay, documentary, I like it.
Okay.
And fiction films,
okay.
I like it too.
Okay.
I think now, actually, how to say that? If you only make documentary, it's very difficult to make a living.
Yes, of course.
Because when you make a documentary, you have to work a long time.
Exactly.
But the budget, the money, most of the time are not very high, and so it's very difficult to make a living with it. So I have a few choices to do another job, and to do documentaries. But because I really like to make fiction movie, so my feeling is I have to make more different style of film. Because when you are making documentaries, the kind of the picture is documentary picture, and once you want to use it to contact some publicity or fiction movie industry, producing company. But you come from the documentary industry film, and the style of the picture is not really fiction
what we're
film.
looking for.
So it's very difficult to convince. So I think I hope I will continue to make some feature film, some fiction film. But if I have a good project, documentary good project, and if I can raise good funding for this documentary, I will be very happy to do documentary again.
All right.
Yes.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully both dreams will come true. Jean-Robert, we're going to talk a lot more about your, experiences in Taiwan, beginning with the film, short story at the West Gate. And before we do that, though, I want to ask you first about Ximending in Taipei. This is a place, of course, you know well. You still rent an accommodation in the area. But people talk about Ximending is where, all the commercial, or most of the commercial activities used to take place in Ximending back in the 50s and 60s, when the nationalist government first came to Taiwan. And that was also the time when you wanted to go see a movie. There are many movie theaters in the district, and also there's also become a place nowadays for a lot of the young people, for a lot of people that are fascinated with international cultures, for example, from Japan, from Korea, and then also the music they listen to is very international, and then the fashion, the style is very much diverse in the Ximending area. So let me ask you first, what is your view about Ximending? And do you think in some ways that Ximending represents Taipei or Taiwan? Please.
Wow. Okay, I'm living in, I'm not living in Ximending.
Okay.
I'm living in the middle of Ximending and Wanhua.
Oh, Wanhua, okay.
Yes,
good.
so
right.
where I am living is not the very animated Simanding.
Okay.
I'm living in a small street.
Okay.
I'm living in a small street.
A little
and
quieter.
Very quiet and very peaceful with old person, very kindly.
All right.
Yes, but I walk 3 minutes and I arrive in the Red House.
Yes.
Simanding.
Okay,
But
Holo, yes.
in the other side, I walk 5 minutes and I arrive in Longshan Temple. Or,
Exactly.
Yes, so this is two different Taiwan.
Yeah, very
And
diverse.
Yes, I personally I prefer have a walk in Wanhua.
Okay,
It's full of Taiwanese local culture.
exactly.
Yes, but Simanding is very interesting too, because Simanding is very animated. A lot of young people.
Yes.
And for yes, young people are very fashion culture and this kind of stuff. So I like to go to have a walk in Simanding.
Okay.
I know Simanding is very, very full of history. For example, the Red House.
Yeah.
From the Japan era until now, it has a lot of Taiwanese
History.
evolution in
Yes.
it. And it's very interesting to study it. And Simanding, yes, I like it for the food. There are some local food very special.
Very authentic.
Yes, very authentic. In Wanhua, it's the same. Yes. The young fashion culture, I'm not so interested in it.
Okay.
I think it's too loudy too.
Okay.
Yes, for me, for me it's too loudy.
You're still very young.
No, I'm not so young.
Okay.
So I'm not so crazy about this kind of young culture.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But I like, yes, and I like to go to cinema in Simanding.
Yes,
A lot of
of course.
cinema.
Yes.
And I'm very happy because the short story at the Westgate will be screened in Simanding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when we were little, Simanding is the only place where we can get some quality film, viewing experiences in Taiwan.
Before.
Before,
Yes.
back in the, 70s and 80s.
Yes.
Because, the screens were bigger and then the sounds were better.
Yes.
But of course, nowadays in Taipei, for example, you have many different choices.
Yes, many different choices.
That you can go to. But, the fact is, Simanding used to have such a rich culture in terms of the history, the fashion, the cuisine, like you mentioned. And did you think Simanding was a big part of giving you the inspiration that you needed to make the film Short Story at the Westgate?
I decided to shoot it in Simanding because it was practicable.
Oh, okay.
And it was practicable and because I talk about my life.
Yes.
So the story takes place where I live.
Yeah.
And so I use my imagination. And if one day I can't go home, I will walk around this place.
Okay.
I will walk around in Simanding area.
Okay.
And yes, it gives me inspiration because when you walk in Simanding by night, there are some small streets who are the ambience is very good,
different.
Very different, yes, very different. And there are Simanding, there are some KTV and some nightlife.
Yes. Nightclubs and things.
Yes. So of course it inspired me.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And let me ask you this: what were some of the more difficult obstacles that you had to overcome in making that film, Short Story at the Westgate? For example, you were on a very low budget. You had to star in the movie yourself. Did you have problems finding some other actors or actresses, to star in the movie? Because you're probably not going to be able to pay them, very much. How about getting some engineering support? People who help you, even though editing a film, but people may help you with the sound, with the mixing, with other things. Were there some of the, difficulties that, that you had to overcome?
a lot of difficulties.
Yeah, all
but
of it, yes.
I solved it in a very simple way. I convened some friends to help me.
Okay.
But it's very strange. I didn't have to talk a lot.
Okay.
Yes. For example, when I talked the first time I talked about the project to a friend of mine, he listened it and he said, "But who will film you? Because you will direct the thing and you're in the film.
Movie,
you can take the camera. Who will be the DOP?"
Okay.
I said, "I don't know yet."
Okay.
And then he said to me, "Do you want
I will help you. Yes.
I will help you." He is not a film DOP. He is a photographer, a professional photographer. So he is making fashion photography.
Okay.
But making fashion, doing fashion photography, he made some fashion movies.
Okay.
And he said to me, "I come with my photography camera and with my lenses."
Okay.
And I tried it. I said,
Yeah.
"Okay." I said, "Oh, okay, yes,
Okay,
let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it."
All right.
And after I presented to a Taiwanese friend who was he was studying movie in France.
Okay.
And he read my script and he said, "Oh, I like it.
Okay.
I try to help you." And so he helped me to find some people. And 2-3 weeks ago, we have a little crew.
Okay.
Sound engineer, DOP, film assistant. And we shot it with a very small crew.
Yeah.
7 people.
Okay. All right.
Very small, very small.
Yes.
7 people.
Okay.
And it was very funny.
All right.
Yes,
That's a very good experience for you.
Yes, and the actors. So the actors, there are 2. One student who is studying acting, and another one who is really a theater actor. But they have a small character, small role.
Okay.
Yes. Other people all are my friends.
Okay.
They are not professional actors.
No. Okay.
No. So I use a very simple way to shoot it. Right. Because we have no money to rent a place for a long time, and so we have to shoot it very quickly.
Yeah. Yes.
So we improvise a lot.
All right.
We improvised a lot.
Yeah.
I never give the actor some dialogue.
Okay.
And all my dialogue was wrote in French.
Okay.
Yes,
it's difficult.
Reference.
A lot of people. Yes.
So I just tell to them, in this scene we have to talk about this and this and this.
Okay. All right.
And let's go. We try a little. And we improvise.
Okay.
So I do this way. I think it's a better way because they are not professional actors.
No.
And so they can speak with their own personality.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And while you're filming this movie, what kind of research did you have to do?
Short story as always get. Not a lot of research because I talk about me. Most of research I have to do is to find some place.
Okay.
For shooting the movie.
Okay.
For example, there is a scene in the movie theater.
All right.
And it's not so easy to go inside the movie theater.
Yes.
And
it's probably going to cost you some money to rent it.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So
that was something you had to.
Yes, so I have to make some research to find a place and not so expensive, and and to convince some pub or some some places if they accepted us to.
All right. Yeah. Without asking you to tell us the whole story, what is the message that you want to convey in the movie?
Okay, there is a very simple message, I think,
which is.
First, I talk about the story of my character.
Yes.
My character, as a dream, is to shoot movie.
Yes.
Is to shoot movie. And whatever difficulties, you have to go away. You don't have to give up.
No.
You have to think about a way to walk.
Yeah, to move forward.
To move, yes. And the message is very simple. But I think this is what happened to my character. But I think a lot of people, they can recognize in it because as creators, as musicians or actors, all people are facing this kind of problem.
Yes, of course.
You have dream, but you have to face the real life.
Yes.
But some workers have the same problem. They have to go to work, but they have some dreams. But they have to go to work to make money, and maybe they have some dreams they want to make, they want to complete. And the message is very simple. This is, you have a dream, try to make it.
Yes, don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up, try to make it. It's very simple.
That's a very important message. Yes, Robert, we've been talking about your interesting films, both in the feature-length films and also in documentaries. But one thing a lot of people that are watching our program today is that you've been coming to Taiwan, on and off for the last 20 years, since 1996. And your Mandarin Chinese is very well, and then people say often that learning a local language is the first step to understand the local culture and the local people. So let me ask you, other than classroom situations where you study the language, how did you improve your Mandarin Chinese in Taiwan or in other parts of the world? Please.
Okay, when I started to study Chinese in some class.
Yes, back in France.
Yes, took some course.
Okay.
Of course, I worked hard at home.
It's a difficult language.
Every morning. Every morning I was studying Chinese before going to work.
Okay.
But after that, I think what helped me to improve my
language,
my Chinese, speaking Chinese, I think one is my English is very bad.
No.
Yes, in the beginning it improved, but the first time I came to Taiwan, late 90s.
Okay.
Yes, late 19 when I came to Taiwan. My English was very bad. I don't want to speak in English.
Okay.
But also my Chinese was not good too.
Was not there
but
either.
I insisted on using Chinese.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. Right. When I started to make some documentary research, I insisted to use Chinese. Although I didn't really understand what people said to me. But I think it's a good way because first you don't understand, but slowly you understand more and more. This is the first. And the second one is, I think what helped me the most to improve my Chinese is making documentaries. It's a very good way.
Yes,
it's a very good way to study a language.
Yes.
Because when you make a documentary, you have to do research, you have to talk with the character you want to film, you have to understand his story, you have to listen to his story. And when you shoot, you have to make interview all in Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you go back for the edit, yes, you have to listen and listen and listen. All the stuff.
Yes.
And Chinese. And so it helped me to study Chinese a lot.
And let me ask you this then. Yeah, you have been doing documentary in Taiwan for some years. What is your observation about Taiwan's film industry? We have, of course, produced many outstanding movies in the past and also in recent, past. And then we have also the Golden Horse, award. That's the longest running, film award in Asia.
Yes.
And then, we have many outstanding talents in director, also actors, actresses, and also engineering people. So what is your observation about Taiwan's film industry? And based on your knowledge about your understanding about the French film industry, do you think there are areas that the two industries can work together, possibly in the future? Please.
I have first to say, late 90s when I started to study Chinese, at the same time I discovered Taiwanese movie in France.
All right.
The movies of Edward Yang Dechang, Ho Xiaoxian, Lian,
yes.
Ang Li.
Okay.
And I liked it a lot.
Okay.
A lot. I think, wow, they are so great Taiwanese film director.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I came to Taiwan. Here in Taiwan, I am involved in the film industry. What I observe is, compared to France, the film industry in Taiwan is not so developed
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, a big difference. For example, in France, all the cinema industry is axed with the French Center of Cinema.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
The French Center of Cinema is an independent organization.
Okay.
Yes. And this organization use its own profits to fund movies.
Oh, really?
And its profits come from ticket
sales.
Ticket sales taxes and TV channel taxes. It's a huge
amount of money.
Because it's for all the movies in France. American movie, French movie, Taiwanese movie.
Yes.
They all are taxed. Yes, so it's a very, very lot of money. In Taiwan, there isn't this kind of system.
No.
So a big difference is, for example, when you have a project in France and you want to subscribe, you want to for subsidies, you can in the French Cinematographic Center, French Center of Cinema, every year you have 6 or 7 sessions opened. So every two months it's possible to subscribe. But in Taiwan, in the Ministry of Culture, 1 year is twice. Yes, 2 times. So there are less opportunity. Yes,
of course.
This is the first one, and how to improve or what are this kind of cooperation between France and Taiwan? There are some yet.
Okay.
Yes, for example, you know that the Taipei Film Commission is linked with the Paris Film Commission.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
from a few years. Yes.
Okay, for a few
so there
years.
are some cooperation.
Already taking place.
Yes, already taking place. Yes.
Okay.
For example, some Taiwanese film directors, they have opportunity to go to France and to get some funding.
Okay.
Yes, with the Paris Film Commission.
All right.
And for example, in the French Center of Cinema, 5 years ago, they changed some rules. Before, in the past, there was funding for foreign movie. But it was all for this kind of Africa or South America or Asian poor country.
Yes, of course.
So Taiwan and Japan and South Korea, they can't subscribe. But approximately 5 years ago, they changed the rules, and now it's open to Taiwanese film director.
Okay.
Yes, it's possible to Taiwanese film director to subscribe to the French National Cinematic Center funding.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So there are some
activities, exchanges.
Changes, yes.
Okay. And Jean-Robert, do you think that with the younger generation of Taiwanese film students, what are the areas that you will recommend for them to be more competitive once they step into the marketplace and become a director or engineering person themselves? What would be the area that you will recommend? Maybe becoming more international, and then maybe have some of the storylines become more internationally in tune, so that we have a bigger market for the films, not just in Taiwan, but also regionally and globally. What do you think?
I think it depends what is your purpose, what is your goal.
All right.
What you want to make some commercial movie with big market.
Okay.
It's very difficult because Hollywood movie take most of the place.
Yes, of course.
It's difficult for China or for South America commercial movie to have a
really wide
audience. It's very difficult. In another way, if you want to make some auteur film, it's very difficult too, because there are less and less theaters who are agree to show auteur film.
Yes.
But I think you have to. I hope Taiwanese young directors they will not be too internationalized.
Okay.
What I mean is, I think you have to preserve your local culture.
Exactly.
Yes, because if you are doing some internationalized film, there are no specification. But if you are making, if you keep local things, local culture in your movie, maybe you can touch international audience, because international audience, they will look at this movie and they will see new things.
Yeah.
For example, I think Japan, they doing it very well.
Yeah.
Korea, when you see Korea, yes, when you see a Japan movie, it's very good quality, and the Japanese things are all in the movie.
Okay.
Yes. So for Taiwanese young filmmaker, I think they have to find a way to make good quality film movie and to keep the local culture in the movie.
All right.
Yes, I think it's the best way.
And finally, Jean-Robert, we have about 1 minute left.
Yes.
Let me ask you, without giving anything away, but suppose your short story at the West Gate does very well, that you have the funding available, what would you like to do next? Now, I would suppose is another feature-length film. And what would you like to film the story in your movie, next project?
Okay. I hope to make another feature film.
Okay.
And I have a story in my mind.
You already do?
Yes, and next time I will not act.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Next time I hope to work with Taiwanese
local actors,
and I hope to make a movie, kind of a ghost story, but not a terrific ghost story.
Okay.
Kind of ghost story between a ghost and a real person. But I hope to make it as a musical.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have this project for a long time.
Okay, good.
4 years ago, I began to write it.
All right.
Yes, and so I have this project for a long time. I hope to complete it one day.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Jean-Robert, for being a special guest on our program today. Want to wish you and also the short story at Westgate doing very well in the box office in the next few months. All right. And thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for watching our program today. I'll see you next time on Macroview Television. Thank you.